Good morning, students. Welcome back to today's class. So far, we have discussed about the effects of simultaneous changes of demand and supply in the market. In that, as I have told you, there are three possibilities in a market. All these three possibilities of changes in demand and supply can be explained with the help of three different diagrams. Two cases we have discussed last class. I think you have very clear with those concepts. The third possibilities we will discuss today. Before discussing the third possibilities, the third shifts of demand and supply, let me lightly recollect the previous part. As I have told you, there can be three possibilities which are diagrammatically explained. And the first cases I have told you, quantity demanded of a commodity is equals to quantity supply of a commodity. In that cases, if there is changes in the market regarding the quantity demanded of a commodity, which is equals to the quantity supplied of a commodity, then we will be getting the effect equilibrium price remain same and equilibrium quantity increases. This is the effect. What is happening in the market when there is a situation occur, quantity demand of a commodity increases equals to quantity supply of a commodity. In that cases, the equilibrium price. What is equilibrium price? The quantity, the price at which quantity demanded of a commodity is equals to quantity supply. So at that condition, the price of a commodity is determined with the help of market forces, demand and supply, and that determined price will be the existing price, where in which consumer can purchase the commodity by that prices. The another case is quantity demanded increases greater than quantity supply. In that cases, we have the second possibility we have discussed, quantity demanded of a commodity increases greater than quantity supply. Here we mean, I told you, how could we understand or how can we understand what level of quantity increases? I told you, you should remember the differences. The differences of the two parallel curves of the demand curve and the diagram, the supply curve. When we draw the increasing demand curve, a rightward shift of the demand curve, there can be a gap, and that gap shows that particular degree or level of changes in the commodity. Similarly, we have drawn increase in demand and increase in supply curve, but quantity demanded increases more than quantity supplied. Then what would be the effect that we have discussed and studied? It is both the equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price increases. Both increases we have studied. And today we will be discussing the third possibilities, that is quantity demanded increases but less than quantity supply increases. Now what is the effect of this situation? These are the imaginary possibilities, these are the conditions in which in every market which can take places. So such a situation, so what about the price? How does those changes affect the price of the commodity? Being we are economic students, we must know what causes to changes in the prices or what makes the fluctuations of prices. So it is because of those demand and supply, we are very clear with that. If such a situation occurs in any of the market, okay, our market is, okay, our economy is just a mixed economy where we see private sector as well as public sector. It's a coexistence of these two sectors and with so many number of producers and buyers. So when all these markets, if there is some changes in the demand and supply, those were the main reasons that the price changes. In this cases, quantity demanded of a commodity increases and quantity supplied increases. It will be less than that. Now what is more here? In this case, this quantity supplied is more. So in order to show this particular situation, we need to draw a diagram. Let me draw the diagram. You can also draw along with me. Y-axis, X-axis. As I have told you, we should draw an initial step of equilibrium price, demand curve, supply curve. Equilibrium point, price and quantity. P as well as quantity. OY is price, OX axis, quantity demanded and quantity supply. This is equilibrium price. Now what we need to know, what we have to find out? We have to find out, or we have to study what is the output if there is a changes in the market of demand and supply happens. This quantity demanded increases less than. That means increase in demand curve. Increase in demand curve, I am drawing an increasing demand curve. Okay, equilibrium price. And increase in demand curve, I am drawing a rightward shift of the demand curve, increasing demand curve. This is an increasing demand curve. Okay, D1, D1, increase in demand curve. Now what about another things? Quantity demanded increases less than quantity supply. So an increase in supply curve, that must be definitely greater than increase in the demand, and that would be shown when we draw a increase in supply curve, a rightward supply curve. We must always make sure this difference. So this difference is greater than, supply chain difference is greater than this one. So I am drawing a supply curve. S1, S1, positive slope of supply. Now what happened here? What happened here? When there is quantity demanded increases less than quantity supplied increase in the market, then what would be the effect? We will write the effect here. What can be the effect? Look at this. This is the equilibrium point with a new dotted line, demand curve and supply curve. So from that I draw a price line, P0 and quantity. Let us give P1 and Q1. Now what happened here? What is the effect? Can you say? Yeah, you could say. What is that? It is the equilibrium price falls, as well as what about the equilibrium quantity? This is another equilibrium point, EP1. So equilibrium price will diminishes. So we can write equilibrium price decreases, but what about the equilibrium quantity? Quantity increased from OQ to OQ1 when this situation occurs in the market. So we will write equilibrium price can decrease. That means from OP to OP1. OP to OP1, one situation. What would be the other situation? Equilibrium quantity, where equilibrium quantity increases from OQ to OQ1. So this is the effect. Look. So the third possibilities which can occur in the market, we have discussed. Quantity demanded increases greater than quantity supplied. From the diagram, this difference is much bigger than this distance. This difference, which means what is more? Supply is more, demand is less. So when you draw this type of three changes, the differences, the gap is the rate in which where quantities changes of the commodity shows. Keep in mind. So this is the difference. So in that cases, the effect, the outcome that can cause in the or that can occur in market is equilibrium price diminishes from OP to OP1, whereas equilibrium quantity can increase from OQ to OQ1. So these are the three possibilities that can happen in a market, or these are the three effects when there is a simultaneous changes occur in demand and supply. Keep in mind that in market situations, okay, we have discussed about a market. In such a market, in any of the market, if there is changes, shifts in demand and supply occur, that means increase in demand or decrease in demand, okay, along with the changes in supply, then there can be three possibilities. One, first time both can increase equally. Opposite side can also occur, both can diminish equally. One side, the demand increases greater than supply. Another possibility, demand increases less than supply. That's the opposite side, all these three possibilities. So when you draw a diagram, you must keep these things in your mind, and from the diagram, after drawing the diagram, observe the diagram very clearly and what would be the effect. That effect you can explain here. This could be explained in all three possibilities. Okay, just you draw it. Okay, dear students, I think you have completed. Now we will move to the next topic. Okay, here we will discuss about two different tools that government uses to control the price. So far we have discussed. Okay, I have been so far discussing, or we have been so far concerned with the free market situations where there is no intervention from the side of government. We have seen that. I have explained to you a free market situation where there is no intervention of the government. But in actual life, government has an important role that government must interfere. If there is no intervention, if there is no controlling right from the side of government towards the price of one commodity, that may definitely affect the consumers. We consumer could not purchase the commodity at that prices what is determined by demand and supply. Certain situations, some unexpected rises in price of the commodity according to the availability of these goods, then certain situations consumers are directly affected. They are unable to bear that price, or they are unable to purchase that commodity by that prices which exist in the market of that commodity. Those situations, here comes the role of government. What is the role of government? As I have told you that government plays an important role in modern mixed economies. In our economy, government has a role. Here government sometimes immediately intervenes, okay, among the producers, and government fixes their prices. It's right of the government in certain situations. At what rate a product is to be sold in the market is not fixed by the demand and supply, because certain situations the price limit unconditionally increases. Therefore, the consumers are not able to get it. In such a situation, difficult situation where this dilemma occur, immediately the presence of government, the role of government, the government may start its intervention, and therefore the price can be controlled and every consumer will be very happy because all those commodities are available towards them at low prices. So this is an important role of a government. Okay, we explain here. Okay, we can explain here such two cases of price determination by the government. All these two important price fixation policies. Government use these tools of these instruments of demand and supply to discuss the implications of such price fixation policies. What are the implications? If government fixes in such a price situations in a market to control the increasing rate of price or inflation, then what are the implications? What could be adopted in that market? We will discuss. The two situations are, what are the two situations in which every time government intervenes or government interfere to control these prices? That we are going to discuss. So therefore let me write the heading. The applications of tools of a price control. Okay, let us write the heading. So you can also write the heading, applications of tools. Applications of tools of price control. Applications of tools of price control. By whom? By the government. Price control by the government. I told you, government has a role. In a free market economy, in a mixed economy, in our economy, government intervenes. Government interferes. When there is a dilemma, when there is any market fluctuations, when there is a problem, some financial problem, some any such type of problem arises, so duty of the government may interfere. It is for the welfare of the people. Some people are benefited in that. Consumers will be happy. In one cases, one of its applicability. In opposite cases, in other way, the producers will be happy. So let us know what are those two situations. The first situation is, as I have told you, maximum price legislation. You can note it that maximum price, it is also known as ceiling price. Maximum price or ceiling price. Maximum price or ceiling price legislation. Maximum price or ceiling price legislation. And another one is, the second one you can write, minimum price. Minimum price, or it is also known as floor price. Floor. One is floor. Another one is ceiling fan, floor price. Floor price legislation. Now let us discuss the first applications or the first situation, that is maximum price or ceiling price legislation. What do you mean by maximum prices? As I have told you that many a time the government fixes the maximum prices. It is the government duty, it is government rights. Why does government interfere, or why does government fixes the price, the maximum price, in order to freeze the price? Government fixes the maximum price in order to freeze the price of that particular commodity. It is the right of the government. If there is no government in our economy, then who controls? We have a good system, authority. That system works with the proper implications as per the rule. Okay, so as a rule, government rights to interfere, to fix the price, to freeze the price. No other force can change the price in the market. This is what government is doing here. So maximum price. Look at maximum price is beneficial towards whom? Not producers, than consumers. How does that help the consumer? Let us discuss. We will discuss with the help of a diagram. And when such a situation occurs, what is the outcome also we will discuss. So let me also say what is meant by maximum price or ceiling price. The price ceiling is the maximum legal price. I repeat, the price ceiling is the maximum legal price which the suppliers can charge for a particular good or service. It is the maximum legal price. There is no other way. That is the maximum limit. Government is fixed the price of one commodity. If you are a producer, you have no right to change the price. You have no right to sell your commodity by higher price than that maximum prices. Producer must, or the supplier must sell, or they can charge that price which is fixed by the government of that good or that services. This is known as maximum price or ceiling price. For example, maximum price limit to be is imposed by the government. Who has the right to impose the maximum limit? It is the right of the government. Government has to impose the maximum price on several commodities, several food items. Here the government, according to the situation, if there is a shortage occur, now the condition, such a lockdown period, we all are experienced with the shortage of many good items, many necessities. Such a shortage occur in an economy. Being you are a producer or being you are a seller, it is you are a seller, one who sells these shortage good items, so you will be happy, because what is happening in such a situation, demand of those commodities are much bigger than the supply. When there is higher demand occur, automatically that affects the price increases. The suppliers are happy because they can sell their product at higher prices as there are many purchases before them. A big queue before a very shop to get the necessities. Such situations, here comes the role of government. Government come and interfere because shortage is going on, and government may finalize a price. Otherwise the poor people cannot afford that price and they will be poor. I have told you many times, why are we poor? Or why India is poor? Because we were poor. We are in that circle, vicious circle of poverty. We don't have any extra strength to violate that circle. Such a way it is affected. So here comes the role of government. Government immediately steps there to control, to fix the price of such commodity. When those price is fixed on that particular commodity, the consumers will be very happy, the poor consumers will be very happy. They will be getting those commodities, necessities at less prices. So maximum price legislation is good for consumers because government has an important role. Let us understand the implications of the price ceiling. For understanding the implications of the price ceiling, we must know draw a diagram. Let us draw the diagram. Okay. You can also draw the diagram. OX and OY. Demand curve, supply curve, equilibrium price, quantity, then price. Price, quantity, quantity demanded and supply. Two different prices. One is this one. So this is P1, another P2, two prices. Now one line I extended, I will tell you later. Now what happened in these cases? Look at this. What is the equilibrium price? The price at which quantity demanded is equals to quantity supply is equilibrium price. When price increases, OP2, what is happening here? What is here? This is a point. This is a point. What is here? We have studied it. Excess what? Excess supply. So we will write excess supply here. Due to excess supply, there is a effect for the positive effect, direct effect to the price of the commodity that falls into the equilibrium price. Now what about this condition? This is excess demand. This point is excess demand. A and B point is excess demand. Excess demand. Now what about the maximum price? Effect on price and quantity according to the variations. If price falls, look at what is happening here. By OP1 price, the quantity demanded is, we can say the quantity demanded is OQ1. And what is the quantity supplied here? Quantity supplied is Q1, quantity demanded is Q2. So what is the quantity supplied here? OQ1. What is quantity demanded? OQ2. What is more here? Excess demand. Excess demand. Demand is more. When there is excess demand occur in a market, I told you what would happen immediately. That may lead to increase the price of the commodity. Due to such a situation, when consumers faces shortage, then immediately demand of the commodity increases, then excess demand situation reached. Due to the excess demand, there can be a direct effect on price. Price increases. When price increases, poor consumers are not ready to purchase the things. Then who interfere here? Government. Now government comes. Government reaches there, government intervenes there, interfere there, and government fix a price. What price? Maximum price. maximum price legislation or maximum legal price to be meaningful, in order to understand, we should draw maximum legal price below the price line, below the equilibrium price. So this is means our price ceiling. So we can write this is ceiling price. Ceiling price. Why this is considered as ceiling price? Now you understood why should I expand the line. Because condition where shortage occur, excess demand happened. When excess demand, there is a tendency price may increase. So when price increases, that will be definitely negatively affected to the poor consumers. Therefore, to save such consumers, the maximum price must be drawn below the equilibrium price, and that is called ceiling price. Now in that case, ceiling prices you can understand from the diagram. The quantity supplied is Q1 and the quantity demanded is Q2. So can you say what is the shortage there? What would be the shortage there? The shortage is here. According to this diagram, you can write shortage because excess demand. Shortage is, I am writing shortage is, we can write symbolically. Shortage is, demand is here. So OQ2 minus supply is OQ1. OQ1. The difference is, which is equals to what? OQ minus OQ1. Then this part is left, which means Q1, Q2. Which means Q1, Q2. So Q1, Q2 is what? Shortage of that commodity. According to the diagram. Is that clear? Everybody is clear? If the maximum, suppose if the maximum price is set above it, then it leads to another critical situation. And therefore, maximum price is always put below the equilibrium point. Below the equilibrium point. You cannot draw above the equilibrium point. Then it negatively affect the consumers. Consumers must give more price. So it is not necessary to draw this part. If it is asked to draw the ceiling price, you must show this one. Because of excess demand. This is excess demand according to the diagram. Then price increases. So government blocks here. This is the price. What is the price now? OP1 is the price. OP1 price, every consumer must sell their product. They cannot sell it more prices. Now such a situation occurs. What is the behavior of producer there? Consumers are happy. Now what about the producers? How do they do? In order to distribute this less quantity of commodity among high demand, to whom will they give? For that they have adopted certain methods. Certain situation this difficulty reaches. To clarify or to reduce or to solve such difficulties, producers, they have some methods of allocation of this commodity. They may adopt some allocation methods. What are these allocation methods? The first one, to solve such a situation, the first one, let me write here. So this is ceiling price. So how do they solve this excess demand? They have, so for example, sellers have only 100 quantity of commodity, but demanded 200 people, they demand this 100. Now in this situation, that's the situation, how do the sellers manage? What are the methods they bring? The first one, that they will give the products towards the customer in such a way, first come, first serve. The first one is that first come, first come, first served. First come, first served. What does it mean? In this system, the seller will allocate that limited quantity of commodity among the consumers. Those who come at first will be provided. So they are in a queue. You are in a queue before a shop and your place is at the back. Will you be able to get the product? No, you are late. First come, first serve. I have only 100 pen. 200 people before me. 200 students, okay, they all need to get. But from me, only 100 pens. I cannot increase the price because due to the maximum price legislation, legal price. So I am here, I said those who come first will be served the first one. So only I can serve 100 in number. The rest people will not get because they were late. This system has been used in India, okay, when during the period of shortage of kerosene, the food products like wheat or rice or petrol or onions, etc. All these products. This is the system that in India that what we follow. Keep in mind. And second one, we will see in what way they will prove that. They will say allocation by seller's preference. The second method is allocation or distribution. Allocation by seller's preference. Seller's preference. What is meant by preference? According to the preference of the consumer. If suppose you are a continuous customer, you are a regular customer who comes to me and purchases that commodity from me. So in that cases, if some stranger comes or if some first customer, okay, whoever in the first in a queue, I will not give them because I will say, oh, quantity is not there. Because my regular customer, you are there. You will come, definitely you will come. So it is the right of the consumer, right of the producer that they can decide to whom to be served. It is my desire. It is my preference. So according to the allocation by the seller. So seller can distribute. Okay. So this is the third one says ration. Ration. What is rationing and what is ration card? What is rationing? Rationing is a system. It is a system of distribution. We have more than 4.5 lakhs PDS shops in India. More than that. Public distribution system, a ration shops. So it is a system of distribution of a specified product. Price fixed by the government. You cannot get whatever the product from there at a different price. No. Kerosene will be available. Sugar is available. Wheat is available. So some of the products, necessary products are being distributed through this ration shops will be getting or reaching towards the consumers in a limited quantity by less prices. So this distribution system is known as rationing. Now rationing, so okay, so certain people, the rich people, they may not approach the ration shops because it's a matter of shame. Stand in a queue with a sack in your hand, or such a long queue, you are in a queue, if somebody show it is a status or a dignity problem. So such a way some people may not be approaching this ration shop. But in the case of the poor people, the mid-low income group people, they may not have such a problem of status or dignity in the society. They need to get such essential commodity. Therefore, they are there in such a long queue nowadays to get such a limited quantity of economic goods. So this is rationing, the distribution system of India. So in India we follow this type. So the another thing is that we can come to the emergence of black marketing. What is black market? Black marketing emergence. There are many chances to emerge number of such markets. Black market. What is black market? Is it black in color? No. Black market is a market. It's a type of market in which the producers sell, or in which the commodities are sold by higher prices than the existing price of those commodities in the market. So it's a common term that in our day-to-day life we used to this black market, which means okay, we may purchase some items in black. Okay, black tickets. If a movie is going to be released today, suppose, and you need to see the movie. For that you need to get a ticket. But certain time you do not get the ticket, you failed. Your all efforts in vain in nature. Such cases, some people are there with the tickets. Okay, the actual cost is 200 rupees, but you will purchase from the black marketing. They may sell that same ticket with 500 rupees. This is black marketing. So this black marketing system, the commodities can be sold illegally, not legally supplying, illegally at higher prices. This can cause, okay, when the black marketing is boosted, when the suppliers create an artificial shortage. Certain situations we also experience some shortages in the food items. Sometimes it is a business trick that they may create an artificial shortage. So this can be also the reason. So these are the ways when government fixes maximum price or ceiling prices meaningfully below the equilibrium prices, and government gets a method to solve such conditions, and that is first come first serve, allocation by seller's preference, rationing and black marketing. And we will be moving to the next is minimum price or floor price legislation. This we discuss by next class, the last part of this chapter. By discussing this particular part, then we complete our chapter. So up to here, you need to read the textbook and make it clear. Okay, bye.